Rockets did the hosting of the Lakers. Still no Anthony Davis. He's out with a bruised butt. Technically, it's a tailbone, but bruised butt's a lot more fun, to say at least for me. First quarter, Rockets up 7. Clint Capella gets a piece of the Kyle Kuzma shot. Harden, other way. Take it, 3. He only made 2 of those, though. Shot 22% from 3. 1 minute to play in the half. Lakers down 9. LeBron gonna miss, but second chance, because Kentavious Caldwell-Pope gets the rebound, finds LeBron, and LeBron does that. It's a 7-point game. 40 seconds to play in the half. Rockets still up 7. LeBron blocked by Clint Capella. Harden to Westbrook. Easy slam. Harden and Westbrook scored or assisted on 56 of the Rockets' 65 first half points. The Rockets led by 6. And then the third quarter happened. And Dwight Howard said the Lakers stepped up their intensity. I mean, they opened the third on a 10-3-1. JaVale McGee, 3 blocks, and that turned some defense into offense. LeBron had 31 points in this one. The Lakers had a 1-point lead, and then they never looked back. 3 minutes later, Lakers up 3. LeBron to Kyle Kuzma. Lakers up 5 and building. 32-point third quarter. They outscored Houston by 15 points. LeBron had 31. Kuzma had 23. Danny Green had 20. They got 20 from Kentavious Caldwell-Pope off the bench. The Lakers took a 9-point lead into the fourth quarter, and the Rockets never got closer than 7 points. A turnover. Houston's now dropped a season-high 3 straight, and they've dropped 4 of their last 5. Mike D'Antoni says his team has not played well in a couple of weeks. This was in Houston, by the way, and the chants, "Let's go Lakers," very loud. Whoa. Lakers won at 124-115.
You want to try to take the challenge no matter if a team is in the playoffs or if a team is not in the playoffs. We lost to a team the other day, had a sub-500 loss, but we don't go into games saying, okay, they're over 500, they're below 500. We say this is a team that can beat us if we don't play to our potential. And that's how we approach every game. And we just try to zero in on that game plan and then move forward. And we had a great game plan tonight.
We're going through a tough time, obviously. It happens to, I think, every team throughout the course of a year. But, you know, tough times don't last long, especially for people and teams that are built for it. So try to continue to fight through it, find a way to continue to get better, keep grinding through moments like these. For us, it doesn't get any easier. You know, we got some tough opponents coming up, so you know, we're battle tested right now.
LeBron had 31 in that game. The Lakers are 14-0 when LeBron scores at least 30 this season. That is by far the most wins without a loss in a 30-point game this season. LeBron is now also the first Laker since Magic in 1989-90 with 8 30-point, 10-assist games.
Adrian Wojnarowski joins me now because we're exactly 20 days away from the trade deadline, and Woj players like Kevin Love, Andre Iguodala, Andre Drummond, we've heard the names floated out there, but no movement yet. What are you hearing?
You know, I think in all 3 of the names you just mentioned there, Iguodala, Love, Andre Drummond, you know, teams want good first-round picks for these players, and there aren't a lot of them plentiful, especially among some contenders, you know, who put first-round picks in the future out in trades. So I think as we get closer to the trade deadline, you know, I think that's going to be a big game of the cat and mouse between the buyers and the sellers. How good of a draft pick can they get for players like that? Because there's no one in this marketplace who's available who you're going to get a good young player and a first rounder for, one or the other.
February 6th, 3 o'clock Eastern time is the trade deadline. So those are players. What about a specific team maybe we should keep an eye on, Woj?
You know, Sage, Toronto's a really interesting team to me here at the trade deadline. You know, before the season, people thought they might be sellers. Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka are free agents this summer, and they are behaving just the opposite. They're only 2.5 games out of second place in the East. Pascal Siakam has become a star in the league. And Toronto is a team that is out there in the marketplace trying to add talent, trying to improve to that core that went to the NBA Finals and won a championship last year with Kawhi Leonard.
It's one of the better stories in the NBA this season, what they've done without Kawhi in that Eastern Conference. All right, you've reported extensively, Woj, on the NBA considering dramatic changes to the regular season schedule, the playoff format, and then maybe an in-season 30-team tournament. I know you got news for us today. Take us through it.
Sage, the NBA put off an April vote of the Board of Governors that would have essentially, you know, put to the 30 teams whether they were ready to vote on this and try to implement these changes for 2021-22. The league wants to continue talking with teams, television partners, the Players Association, to try to find some more common ground. There is still a goal for that 2021-22 season, but we will not have an April vote on it.
Okay. All right, Adrian Wojnarowski with the latest on, by the way, another very busy Friday night here on ESPN in the association.
The battle of the James. Not really, I made that up. LeBron James and James Harden, both players set the tone for their team to win. But guess what? They've teamed up with other power players, such as AD for Bron and Westbrook for Harden. And guess what? That's also changed the landscape in the West. So when the teams meet for the very first time this season, that is tomorrow night, AD should play. We do not know. We'll be watching. But you could be seeing a preview of the postseason. So let's explore the numbers between the dynamic duos of LeBron and AD with the Lakers and Harden and Westbrook of the Rockets. Our Tim Legler breaks it down.
Both the Lakers and Rockets rely heavily on their dynamic duos.
He knows Westbrook. Westbrook knows Harden.
I think that him and LeBron James are the best duo in basketball.
LeBron James and Anthony Davis are on pace to become just the second set of Lakers teammates since the merger to each average 25 points, joining Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, who accomplished the feat 3 times. James Harden and Russell Westbrook have combined to average 62 points, on pace to reach a mark no other pair of teammates has touched in over 50 seasons. But how these duos get their points is quite different.
James Harden in the clutch!
And Russell Westbrook really starting to feel it now. James lobs it up, and Davis throws it down.
LeBron has assisted to Davis 113 times, by far the most of any passer-scorer combo. They've excelled at the pick and roll, becoming the most efficient duo in pulling off that particular play.
Oh, Russell Westbrook! Oh, Harden!
Conversely, James Harden and Russell Westbrook often work independently of each other, ranking first and second in points created off isolations per game. They have combined for 590 unassisted field goals, the most of any pair of teammates. But there are often pitfalls to any strong duo. Perhaps missing his fellow superstar, when Davis is on the court without LeBron, the Lakers have struggled, recording a net efficiency that would rank in the bottom 6 in the NBA. Harden and Westbrook have each, at times, been unable to hold on to the basketball. They are on pace to become the first set of teammates to each average 4 turnovers per game since individual turnovers were first tracked in the 1977-78 season. Through the first half of the season, there's been plenty of good to go along with legitimate concerns for each duo in their first year together. But we won't know until June whether either duo is strong enough to win a championship.
Rockets have lost 3 of 4 heading into tomorrow's game against the Lakers. We've got our NBA analyst, Shanae Agwuemeke, here to talk about this. So Mike D'Antoni's job was to try to mesh Russell Westbrook's game with James Harden's. You heard Legs there saying they're sort of operating independently. There's been turnovers. We're 40 games in. Is it working with these two right now?
Yes, it's working. Is it perfect? No. But the Rockets' best strategy is just being perfectly imperfect. And the same can be said to describe the duo of Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Those two together have been a force to be reckoned with. Last season, the Rockets were 27th in pace. This season, they are 2nd in pace. That's the Russell Westbrook effect. Russell Westbrook is fast. He'll get you buckets in a record time. Look at the time there. 3.6 seconds. 3.5 seconds when he crosses half court. This is why the Rockets are perfectly imperfect. Also, because they can switch gears fast and slow. Watch this, David. James Harden's buckets are methodical. He's an off-the-dribble rhythm scorer. This is why people shade him. Look at how many dribbles he takes once he crosses half court. We're at, what, 14, 15?
I lost count.
He finally baited Paul George, an excellent defender, got the hesitation, and got the floater. So they can play fast, they can play slow. Both guys, they have to be the engines, and they all have to buy in right now.
Okay, it's like a pitcher changing speeds in baseball. There's fast and there's slow. We'll see how that plays out. We're in Texas. Let's go to Dallas. Luka Doncic and the Mavs hosting the Blazers tonight, 9:30 Eastern on ESPN. Rick Carlisle says it's hard to fathom what Luka is doing. Let's take a look at some of the numbers. A league best 12 triple-doubles so far this season. He's top 5 in both scoring and assists on the year. Incredible numbers for a 20-year-old. In fact, he's got 20 career triple-doubles. That's almost 3 times as many as anyone else before their 21st birthday in NBA history. Luka, had a career-high 17 assists in his last game en route to becoming the youngest player in NBA history with a 20, 15, and 15 game. All right, so we all love Luka. He's an unbelievable player. What specifically stands out?